Hello everyone, this is Andrew from Crown Academy of English. Today's English lesson is about thank you and thanks. So here is today's lesson plan. We are going to look at thank you and thanks, informal speech, thank you as a noun, thank as a verb, and then at the end we're going to look at two common expressions. So two very good and useful expressions. So make sure you watch until the end of the video. So thank you and thanks. Well, we say thank you or thanks to show that we are grateful for something. Example. A waiter in a restaurant says, "Here is your orange juice, madam." And Jane replies, "Thank you." So this is quite a formal environment. So Jane chooses thank you, and she's showing her gratitude to the waiter for the orange juice. So she's grateful. Thanks is more informal than thank you. So this is the big difference. Thanks is slightly more informal. Example. Mark said, "I made you a sandwich. It's in the kitchen." And Jane replies, "Thanks." So this is a much more informal context because Mark and Jane, they know each other very well. They are a couple. Okay, so Jane says thanks. But the difference is only very small. Thanks is not rude or anything. It's only slightly more informal. Both are perfectly okay. If we are very grateful for something, then we have a few choices. We can say, "Thank you very much." And the equivalent with thanks is "thanks very much." So both of these are fine when we are very grateful. We can also say "thank you so much," "thank you so much," or "thanks so much." So both are fine. And finally, with thanks, we can say "thanks a lot." Thanks a lot. Okay, so this is correct. But very important, this is wrong. Okay, so we cannot say "thank you a lot." This is a big mistake in English. I hear this a lot with many of my students. Okay, so if you want to say a lot, you must say thanks. Thanks a lot. Okay, so we can say "thank you very much," "thanks very much," "thank you so much," "thanks so much," or "thanks a lot" when you are very grateful. Let's look at some examples. We use thank you or thanks when someone asks how we are. So when we reply to the person. David asks, "Hi Mark, how are you today? How are you today?" And Mark replies, "Hi David, I'm well, thanks. I'm well, thanks." Okay, so the thanks is showing gratitude to David for asking about him. We also use thank you or thanks to reply to a compliment. So when someone says something nice about us. Jane says, "I like your suit." And Mark replies, "Thank you very much." So Mark is simply showing gratitude to Jane for the compliment. This is the compliment, "I like your suit." Another example, David says, "I like your hat." And Claire replies, "Thanks." Okay, so we can use thank you or thanks to reply to a compliment. Polite refusals. So we say no thank you or no thanks to politely refuse something. Example, the waiter asks, "Would you like another glass of wine, sir?" And Mark replies, "No thank you." So Mark does not want another glass of wine. And to refuse politely, he says, "No thank you." David asks, "We're going to a concert. Do you want to join us?" And Claire replies, "No thanks. No thanks." So David is inviting Claire to a concert, but Claire doesn't want to go, so she refuses politely by saying no thanks. Very informal speech. There is another word which is very informal to say thank you. So in very, very informal language, we can say cheers. Cheers. This is only British English, okay? The Americans don't say this for thank you, okay? So cheers in British English means thank you or thanks. So here is an example. So two close friends are talking. So it is an informal conversation. Mark says, "If you need help, call me." And David says, "Cheers." So David is basically saying thanks or thank you. Okay? So it's a very informal way of saying thanks in British English. The ing form. Well, to say thank you for an action from the past or the present, then we use this structure. So thank you or thanks, followed by the word for, followed by the ing form of a verb. Okay, so this structure, we use this to say thank you for an action from the past or present. Example, thank you for coming to the meeting. Thank you for coming to the meeting. Okay, so we're saying thank you for the action of coming to the meeting. Thanks for cooking dinner. Thanks for cooking dinner. So we have the word thanks, the word for, and then the ing form of the verb cook. And here we have thank you, followed by for, followed by the ing form of the verb come. Thank you for coming. Thanks for cooking. Okay? We could also say thanks for cleaning the bathroom. Thanks for helping me with my homework. Okay? Thank you as a noun. So we can also use thank you as a noun. Example, the manager says, "I would like to give a big thank you to the sales team." I would like to give a big thank you to the sales team. So here, thank you is a noun, and it is the object of the verb give. I would like to give a thank you to the sales team. And big is simply an adjective. It's an adjective modifying the noun thank you. It's a big thank you, okay, because we are very grateful. Okay, so yes, I would like to give a big thank you to the sales team. So the important thing to remember here is that thank you is a noun. Okay, so the expression is to give a thank you to someone. Thank as a verb. So there is a verb, thank. I thank, you thank, he thanks, she thanks, we thank, you thank, and they thank. Okay, and the past form is thanked, ed at the end. So it's a verb. So we can use thank as a verb. Example: I'd like to thank my parents for their support. Here, in fact, we use the infinitive form. I'd like to thank my parents for their support. This is the infinitive form of the verb thank. Yes. And another example, this one is in the past tense. Jane thanked the doctor for taking care of her. Jane thanked. So this is the past simple form of the verb thank. So this is something that happened in the past. Jane thanked the doctor for taking care of her. And here is the other structure that we saw earlier in the lesson. For followed by the ing form of the verb. So here we are thanking someone for an action in the past. This one is in the past. Okay? Taking care of someone. Let's look at two common expressions now. Very useful expressions that you hear a lot in English. So here it is, thank God. Now this is not a religious expression, so as I say, it's simply an expression. There's no religious link to it really. So we say thank God to express relief about something, when we are relieved. So we say thank God when we are pleased that something happened that we were worried about. So we start being worried about something, and then something happens and we are no longer worried. So we are relieved. We feel relief. So imagine that we have a long journey. We are starting a long journey. We have to drive a long distance. And we start a journey and we see that it is nice weather. The weather is good. It is sunny. So we can say, thank God it's not raining. Thank God it's not raining. So if someone says this, it shows that they are relieved. They are expressing relief that it is not raining. The weather is good. We can drive without any problems. Thank God it's not raining. Another example. Thank God you're safe. I was worried. So here the person is pleased that the person is safe because they were worried. Okay, so the person is expressing relief that the person is safe. So thank God, as I say, it's not a religious thing. It's simply an expression. And a second very common expression is thanks to. Thanks to followed by a noun phrase. And it means because of. So thanks to, we're not saying thank you to somebody. No, we're not saying thank you to somebody. It means because of something. So we use this to explain something, to give a reason for something. And it is common in written English. You often see this in a newspaper, for example, a newspaper article. Here is an example. The company is doing well thanks to the work of the CEO. Okay, so the company is doing well because of the work of the CEO. So thanks to gives us the explanation. It explains this. So why is this happening? Well, the answer is this. Okay, so the company is doing well because of the work of the CEO. Thanks to the work of the CEO. Okay, so we're not saying thank you to somebody, we're simply explaining something. And here is a photograph of the Queen of the United Kingdom. Thanks to the Queen, London is a popular tourist destination. Okay, so here we have the thanks to clause at the beginning of the sentence. So we have a comma after it. So this time we're giving the explanation first, and then the rest of the sentence after it. So why is London a popular tourist destination? Well, partly it is because of the Queen. Because of the Queen. Because she attracts lots of tourists from all over the world. So because of the Queen, London is a popular tourist destination. This gives us the explanation for this. Okay? Thanks to. Because of. Okay? There we are. That's the end. If you are preparing for the IELTS exam, then click here for information and prices about our IELTS online course. And here are some other videos which I recommend.